Hi guys. For those that don't know me, my name is Bibi. Have the group Celestial Guidance by Bibi, Psychic and Medium, and now I have a page, Celestial Guidance by Bibi, a psychic life coach. Today I'm coming live to do, hey Key, today I'm going to come live to answer some questions about myself as far as being pagan, being a witch, practicing Wicca, and some of your questions and some of the most commonly asked questions that I've gotten throughout the years, and some people who have requested specific questions. So feel free that if you have a question, a general question about paganism, witchcraft, Wicca, things like that, feel free to ask it and I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability. That being said, I want to do a disclaimer and say that I'm speaking from my personal experience. I do realize that because paganism is such an umbrella term for so many different religions, I can only speak for what I know. So if I don't know the answer to your question, I'm just going to say I don't know it, and I'll write it down and research it, and then on my next time that I go live answering questions, I'll go ahead and answer that question then. So I'm going to take a moment to go ahead and take a look over some of the questions that I have written down already, and see about getting started. Okay, so let me see who's here. Hey Crystal, Marisa, Carrie, Becky, hey Henny, Lazaro. All right, so let me take a look at these and I'll be with you. So some of the questions we're going to be discussing, I'll read them out loud as I go through them. What is paganism? Different types of paganism. What does it mean to be a witch? What books I may recommend? Who do I worship? Who do pagans worship? Things like that. Is being a witch only for women? Are you a Satanist? The different holidays that we celebrate. The significance of the moon and why we celebrate and full moons and work our magic around the full moon. How to get rid of negative energy and make positive changes. What kind of witch are you? When did I start? A little bit of the history about myself and a little bit of the history of paganism as well. Are you ever afraid of the spirits that talk to you? Discussing, let's see, I'm going to discuss spells, why they work, why they don't work, and how do they work, scientifically speaking. What can you do to elevate your psychic abilities? What does my pentacle represent? Why do we see spirits on earth? Reincarnation, I'll touch on that subject. Do we sacrifice animals? Basic belief systems as a pagan, as a Wiccan. Where and how do we get our abilities? Are witches evil? And are witches the same as shamans? How to ground and some meditation techniques. So these are the notes that I took from the questions that people have already asked me. If I see any questions here, I will write those down as well. Tabitha says, I'm so interested in paganism. Can you recommend me a book for a beginner? Yes, I will definitely be discussing that. I actually got a few books to the side that I feel are good beginner books. So that would be one that I'll make sure to address. Let me see, anybody else? Hello. All right. Okay, so I'm going to change the music. Hey Google, play 528 hertz. I want something a little more
playing 528
better.
hertz miracle
Light
tone
bleed.
love frequency the pure on YouTube.
Okay. So let's get started with, actually let me lower this a little bit. That's not lowering it. Okay. Google, continue. Hey Google, continue. Okay, there we are. Good. Okay, so let's start with me. So my what does paganism mean to me? How it is represented in my life, and how do I live it in a regular lifestyle? To talk about that, I want to start with its history a little bit. So most of the people that I know are Christian, and so I get this question a lot. Paganism has a reputation for either being like, oh, you don't believe in God, or you're a devil worshiper, or it just overall has a negative notation. And I want to start with, why do I own that title and say, yes, I'm pagan and I'm proud of being pagan, even though it has a negative notation? And the reason why is because those negative notations are simply not correct. Paganism is the belief in the possibilities of more than one entity, more than one god or goddess or deity. But that being said, that is not the main focus. There are some pagans that do not believe in multiple gods, that they just honor the earth. So paganism is more about the lifestyle you live and living in oneness with nature, trying to live your life in a manner where you're honoring the earth and trying to live by the cycles that come natural to nature. Paganism was actually, paganism comes from the word pagan, and pagan actually was the name given to country dwellers. That was the main religion, or actually not even religion, we'll say belief system practiced in the country. A long time ago, before even paganism, we had animism. Animism is the belief that all things have a life force, a value. They have valued life. And that was before even paganism, and eventually that developed into paganism and believing in the different gods of the sun and gods of the moon and gods of this and that and goddesses and stuff like that. When the Christian Pope came in, Christianity to begin with was mainly a business, and he wanted to convert the land, and in order for him to convert the land, different options were given. You can either convert, and then different tactics were used to have people be converted, where it was more favorable for them because they followed the traditions. So the Christian, or better said, the Catholic religion adopted the pagan traditions so that transition was a little easier. So that was one of the ways they did it. The other way they did it is basically follow us, or we kill you. So a lot of people moved to the country where they weren't bound by the laws of having to follow this. So they were being seen as the pagans. The country dwellers are the pagans, the people. So that's kind of like where it came from. But really nowadays, where it really matters, because my cousin once asked me this question, why do you practice this? And how is what you've learned in Wicca and witchcraft and paganism, how is that relevant to your life now? And I think that that's the important part. How is not so much fixated on the past and how this was viewed, but how is it practiced now? And how is it relevant to my life? And I've read a lot of books. I have been practicing well, when I was 12 years old, I asked myself, why did I believe in God? And my answer to myself was because my mom said so. And that was just not an acceptable answer for myself. I've always been the type of person that if I'm going to believe something, if I'm going to do something, I need to understand why I am choosing to do that. So that being said, I decided to become atheist and started studying different religions. So I started looking into different forms of Abrahamic religions, such as different versions of Christianity and Catholic, and even like Muslim, things like that, just learning about them. And then when I turned 13, I was right. I think closer to 14. I discovered paganism. And then at 15, I discovered Wicca and witchcraft. And when I got that book, which I don't own, I was like, oh my God, someone took all my belief systems and put it in this book and called it Wicca. And so that's how it came to be for me. And so basically, it's not that I conform to this belief system, it's that this belief system is who it feels natural for me to be. And so that's kind of where it came from. And so I've had many years. I'm 34 now, so many years of practicing, of learning, of doing things the right way, the wrong way, more wrong way than right way, and learning and growing from it. And then just watching YouTube videos as well and seeing other people's experience and things like that. So that's where my information has come from. That's a little bit about paganism and its background. And in general, right now, if we want to sum it up real quickly, paganism can be viewed as a person who wants to live a lifestyle that is in coherent with being one with nature and respectful of nature, and understanding that everything has its own energy and its own value. And that's pretty much the case. That just realizing that, that's all I'm going to say about that. So why Wicca? So I'm going to go into that now. So I'll say Wicca is not that very old of a religion. It started in 1950s and by Gerald Gardner. And I don't care. The traditions in Wicca are pagan, and the traditions in Wicca fall with my alignment of being one with nature and respecting and honoring the earth and all living beings, including bugs and animals and everyone else. So I don't fixate on that. Because there is a lot of bad talk sometimes about Wicca, but here are some of the principles that I get from that. Some of the principles that I get from that are: at harm none, do what you will. So basically, as long as you're not harming anyone, do whatever you want to do. Okay? Some people take that extensively and say, well, you're walking on the grass, you're hurting the grass, and it's all about what your intent is. So if your intent is harm, then you're harming. If you happen to, by mistake, cause harm, I don't see that as going under the rule of harm none, do what you will. Because doing what you will is saying that you're consciously making a choice to do something. I do live by the karmic rule. Everything you put out comes back to you threefold. There's many different interpretations of that as well. The interpretation that I go by is threefold, meaning heart, like emotionally, physically, and mentally. And that whatever you do is going to impact you back in those three ways. Okay, not necessarily 3 times as bad or much worse, just as let's see. And I've already mentioned using the energies around you to create the future that you want. I'll talk a little bit about being in Wicca as a religion. It does make me a witch, and so I could say I'm a witch, but not so every Wiccan is pagan, but not every pagan is Wiccan or a witch. So now let's get a little bit into witchcraft, and then I'm going to stop there and look at some of the questions, and then I'm going to continue. Okay. So witchcraft is very, very simple. You do not have to be in any particular faith or religion or anything to practice witchcraft. Witchcraft is literally that, is a practice, is craft. Okay, is the craft. So is witchcraft evil? Is witchcraft good? What is that? Is there good magic and black magic and white magic and gray magic? There's humans. We'll leave it at that. There's humans. There's good humans. There's bad humans. Humans that make good decisions, bad decisions, you know, and what that the human decides to do, regardless of whether they're a witch or not, whether they're a Christian or a witch or a Wiccan or whatever they choose to practice as their faith, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. So don't think of witchcraft as a negative thing, as an evil thing, because it's not. What it is understanding and taking charge of your life and saying, I wish for this to happen, and I'm going to go ahead and take action, magical action upon it. So I'm going to use the energies of the universe. I'm going to use the energies of the elements, of the herbs, the energies that are surrounding, and most importantly, the energies of my intent to create the future that I wish to have. The very, very most basic form of spells and crafting magic is prayer. And like, it's just, it is what it is, because it's you're sending your intent out into the universe with the expectations of a result. And that's what it is. So that's a very basic, and then as you go into it, you get more involved. And if you guys want me to specifically talk about the subjects, any of these subjects, you let me know. I'm just kind of like briefly giving some over the top stuff. So I'm going to take a second, look through some of the comments, because I don't want to ignore you guys. And then, yeah, continue with maybe talking a little bit about this. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Sharon, Jenny, Stephanie. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Give me a second. Sorry about that. Okay, back to you. Carrie says, as a psychic, I'm able to tap into others' lives, but never my own. Is this normal? And are there any books or techniques to enhance? That can do to enhance and be able to read for myself like I can for others. Carrie, I find that very difficult, to be honest. I find that when I have asked that same question to other witches, they come up with the same answer, that for most people it is difficult for us, and there is a reason why. The reason why is because then we question if it's our own thoughts, if it's our own opinions. When we're reading for others, we know that we don't know them. We know that it's not our opinions, that our opinions may be different than what we're saying. So we trust that the messages are coming through are for them from entity, not from us as humans. But someone gave me this advice, and I'll pass it on to you. Maybe I'll help you. And this helped me a little. So instead of asking a specific question like, should I go out with this guy? Instead, I say, show me what I like. It's more general. Show me what my love life should look like. And then I compare that to what my experience is with this person. And then I go, okay, that matches. Yes, I should. Or no, that doesn't match. I shouldn't. But yes, it is normal. It is more difficult for us to read ourselves. It's much more easier to read others. And it just, I don't know. I think we as humans, we get in our own way. And so basically being general about the question and just being open to whatever information comes through, I find that has helped. So hopefully that will help you too. All right, Carrie, let me see who else has questions here. And what do I call my abilities? I call them impression readings, but I think there's a proper definition for them. Honestly, Carrie, I've been stuck on trying to find proper words, titles for what we call specific gifts. And at the end of the day, they're just titles. The only reason I find that titles even matter is because of the people that don't know. Like, for example, me. I would have never called myself psychic. It took me so long to come to terms to the word psychic and medium, because I kept feeling like if I said that, I would be portraying that I'm like, this, like how you see it in movies, and I felt like it was too Hollywood. But then at the end of the day, I was like, if I don't say this, others are not gonna understand. And then once I talk one-on-one, I explain further what exactly is my ability, how I work, how I do things, all these different things. So I wouldn't fixate on a name. I would more go, whatever feels right to you is what I would go with. Because for me, I see, hear, feel. I don't taste and I don't smell, but I do see, hear, and feel information. So it's like they all have their own name, but if we went around and clairvoyance and clairaudience and all these things and putting those into titles when we're promoting ourselves, it's a mouthful. And I find that a lot of people don't even know what that is. So it is our job to educate, but I try to do that more on a one-on-one basis than just publicly. Although now I might start doing this publicly. If this goes well, which it seems is going, I'm gonna continue doing this for you guys. Alrighty, let's see who's next. All right, Lauren, I'm going to be doing psychic readings at 6:30 p.m. So join me. So I'm talking to Lauren Sweetman. I'm going to be doing those psychic readings at 6:30 p.m. I'm just doing general questions as far as paganism, witchcraft, and Wicca today. All right, or anything spiritual as well, but something that everybody that listens can benefit from if they're in the same situation. All right. Oh, and also I'm going to be doing something new for my live psychic readings. If you wish to make sure that, like, I need it, I don't want to be skipped, I'm going to make a list of people who donate. So by donation, you leave me a donation. I'll put my PayPal account. You leave a donation, and that will guarantee you a spot. And so what the donation, I believe, is going to be a minimum of like $2 or something like that. But as long as you donate, you hold your spot for sure. And I'm only going to have a certain amount of slots for that, because I do plan to do mainly free readings, but I do want to offer that for those that I feel that they really need the reading and they don't want to be skipped. So just look out for that. I will post that out later. All right. Anahara, yes, I am. Let's see. Hey, Carlos, Kelvin. Carrie says, Oh, she's talking to somebody else. She says, I think I might be. I say the person's name and I get information like story playing in my head. I always ask the person I read to not give me any information. I do exactly the same thing. I just repeat what I see or hear. I've pushed my disability away for years, but have recently embraced it. I'm glad you're starting to embrace it. I'm hoping that I encourage others to embrace their abilities too. And if they're looking for more guidance, I will be holding private classes for that. Because I definitely think it's important for all of us to raise our vibration and to get more connected with who we are and our personal gifts and abilities and, deity. All right. Hello, Marcel, Brittany, Michelle. Well, I'll be live again 6:30. Hopefully I'll see you. And Ahara, I'm not reading for people right now. What I'm doing... Oh, okay. You're replying to Carrie. Okay, cool. Well, Carrie, you have someone here wanting to wants a reading from you. So maybe you guys can private message each other and set that up. Hello, Juliet. What's the sign in the background? Okay, so the sign in the background, that is a pentacle. The pentacle is a 5-pointed star that represents the elements, and the center represents spirit. So there's the different directions. So we have, I'll go ahead and stand up so I can show you guys. All right. So top stands for east. Then we have south, west, and north. Each side is representing an element. So we have east for air, south fire, west water, and north earth. And center is spirit. So the pentacle, it represents the elements. And what it's important for me particularly with the elements is because I personally consider myself an elemental witch, meaning I use the elements in my witchcraft, and I use the elements I'm just very nature based. When I go for sick, I'm all about earth and using the energies of the earth and the herbs, if or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be that, but that's how I connect. But in general, this is exactly what it is and what it represents, and how Wiccans and other pagans use it. It is not a devil worshipping sign. As a matter of fact, Wicca practitioners do not worship the devil. I have actually seen many comments about this going one way or the other way, and I want to actually kind of clarify. I've seen people say that witches don't worship the devil, that they don't worship Satan. And I'm going to have to say that that's incorrect. What I'm going to say is that not every witch worships Satan. Okay? Again, witchcraft, being a witch, means that you practice magic. That's all that means. It is not tied into any particular deity or belief system. Okay? Most witches are pagan, but that does not mean that they have to be. Nor does it mean because you're pagan, you have to be a witch. So, I want to kind of clarify that out, because I have met Satanists who consider themselves witches. Just like myself, I'm a witch, but I will never consider myself Satanist, because I, for one, don't believe in him, and for two, don't worship him. So I do believe in the possibilities of many different gods and many different goddesses. So I do believe that it is possible that he is real, but he's not relevant to me or my life. And that is the case for most witches, unless they consider themselves Satanists. Okay? So that's what that means. That's what it represents. And let's move on. All right. Hey, Anisha, Jennifer, Daniela, Carrie. Let's see. Leslie, JC, welcome. All right. Let's see. After this, go ahead and DM me, but no info, please just leave a heart. Okay, so you're talking to her. Good, good, good. I'm glad I made that connection for you guys. Okay. Da-da-da. Maybe you should look, I don't know, Carrie, if you've looked into Wicca before, but if you haven't, you should. You might find that it resonates with who you are. You might find that it doesn't, but it's worth looking into it. And most importantly, realizing that it's about a lifestyle. And I will discuss a little bit before I get off, as far as like what it means to me in my lifestyle. I raise my children pagan, and what does that mean? I live a pagan lifestyle. I follow the Wiccan ethics. I practice magic so that I do consider myself a witch. So what does this mean to me in my life? And I'm going to be discussing that after answering a few more questions here. Thank you, darling. Welcome, Ruby and Nixa. Okay, I'm going to be going live for psychic readings at 6:30 p.m. guys. Go ahead and join me then. It'll be in a few hours from now. Okay, Carrie says, I am pagan. I just consider myself spiritual, pagan, and lead by nature. Okay. There's a lot of those, and that's great, and I'm glad we have that. Wicca is not for everybody. It's for me, but it's not for everybody. Just like, see, I believe that everybody they're in their own journey, and they are practicing the faith that they're practicing because that is what fits them, what is right for them in this lifestyle, in this lifetime. So, everybody should be in their own journey, experiencing what is right for them. Sherry says, is there a reading for me, please? A baby. Sherry, psychic readings will be done at 6:30. This is for spiritual communication. Gloria says, I just came. I fell asleep with my son. Sorry for being so late. Gloria, you're here. You had asked a question. Let me go back to it. Let me see. I don't remember which one was your question. Gloria, can you ask me the question over here on live so I can go ahead and answer it? I don't know which one was your question. I have several here. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Stephanie. Washim says, I am a ghost. Stay safe in your home. Okay. You're welcome, Carrie. Pamela, Sandy. I'm doing good. Thank you. I've been told I'm an old soul and a healer. Pamela, if you have been told that, I want to ask you, how do you feel about it? How do you feel? Do you feel that that you are an old soul? What makes you feel that way? What, look into it. How do you resonate with that? How are you a healer? What are the different things that you do professionally or even personally that make you a healer? And if you resonate with that, and if this is something that makes you feel like it feels right to you, I would say learn as much as you can in the different areas of healing modalities. And like, I am a therapeutic rehabilitation therapist, massage therapist, and then I also do life coaching, and then I also do I teach Wicca, and like more it's Wicca, but it's more with the focus of the lifestyle, living this lifestyle of being pagan and being a witch. So if this resonates with you, I would do as much research, and I would do a lot of meditation. I would try to connect with deity and pray and see where this is going to take you, because a lot of times when we feel like we're old souls or we know we have a gift, a lot of times what I see people do is absolutely nothing. They do nothing with their gifts and they throw their gifts away. Why do that? If you know you have a gift, or you know you have the ability to have a gift, use it. We're living in a time frame where it's okay to embrace who you are, and it's okay to bring that out into the world. And the more people like me stand up and say, hey, this is who I am, and this is my lifestyle, and this is what I can do for you, the more light we'll be able to shine, the more healing we'll be able to do in the world. So I definitely encourage you to follow through with that if that is what resonates with you. Aw, thank you, Carrie. Okay, so Gloria's asking if I can explain praying or how to properly pray. All right, so how to properly pray. I'm going to tell you how to not pray. This is the way my daughter prays. Thank you, God and Goddess, for everything, and take my virtues away. Bless me. Yeah, that's not the way of praying. The way of praying is to be present in the moment. That's really what's important. Being present in the moment when you're praying. Your intent is what matters. So what I've been teaching her actually is not just praying and at night and taking her time to actually mean every word she says. So Gloria, that's what I would say. Praying means when you're expressing your emotions to your deity or the universe or your father that's passed or whomever it is, your intent, your passion, your emotional attachment to what you're saying. Okay, that's how you pray. You are present in the moment and in your delivery, and understanding that delivery is going somewhere. So when you speak, go ahead and express that. Express that with gratitude. If you're being grateful for something, don't just say thank you, but like, thank you. I am so grateful for my kids. I know they're pain in the butt, but thank you. I'm so grateful that they have chosen me to be their mom. Or if you need something in your life, in a moment of prayer and you're asking for something to change, they do say to focus on what you want and not what you don't want. But I believe that we are both, the good and the bad, what we want and what we don't, our light and our shadow. And I don't see it wrong to say, hey, my life sucks right now. I'm going through all this, and have a conversation. You're having a conversation. So you talk to them like you would be talking to your best friend, and you say, I really need help. I'm open to whatever, you shine the way, light the way, help me, guide me. I will do what you say. I will listen. I will follow. I am lost. But be genuine. Your intent, your genuineness is so important. Your passion, your emotional connection to what you're saying, and your dialogue being like you're talking to a person. And I would say that's the difference between, say, how I pray and say how another faith may pray. And what I'm referring to specifically is, it's about the relationship you have with your deity. Okay, it's not about, for example, myself, my deity is Jesus and Gaia. Those are the two that I honor. I don't like to say I worship because I don't really worship them, but I do honor them, and I do ask for their guidance, and I do ask for their support. But when I'm talking to them like they're a human person in front of me, and I'm just talking to them, and I'm not going, I am beneath you. I am lower than you. And I come to you because only you know. That's not the mentality. The mentality is, you may have more wisdom than me, so this is why I come to you. But I'm at equal value in the sense of I am part of you. You are a part of me. You know, I am a part of this universe. It's like the gods, goddess, they live inside you and around you, and they're Earth herself. You know, and depending on what you believe, you know, it's going to change for you. But for me, you know, it's like I am one with you. You are one with me. I am a part of you. So it's not like I am underneath her and I'm worshiping her. It's like I am a part of her. And maybe the part of her that maybe is not as wise as her. But I'm still a part of her. And I connect with her to be one. Alright? So that's my answer for the prayer. Let's see what other questions we get. Alright. Sandy, you say asking for money? I'm confused. Raven, I don't ask for money. Okay. With my reading. Oh, okay. You say you don't ask for money during your reading. Well, if you're not doing this as a profession, then there's no, I mean, ask. So there's this common thought that if you're going to be giving readings, that you should not have to charge for that. But see, the truth of the matter is, the bill collectors, the water company, the electric company, the mortgage company, they don't care if they don't care if we want to be nice, if we want to give free things. They're going to be like, where's my money? Oh, you don't have it? Not too bad. You're not going to get water. You're not going to have electric. You're not going to have a place to live. So in a position that if you want to do this as a profession so that you could help more people, the reality is that you're going to focus your time. For every live reading that I do, that I'm up 2 hours with it, in addition to that, I am behind the scenes working 8 hours. Preparing, reading messages, answering, getting all this stuff. If I don't ask to be paid for private readings, then I wouldn't be able to do this at all. I would have to go back to my mundane job and work there, because at the end of the day, I still have to pay those bills. So if this is what I want to be able to do, if what I want to do is help others, then I have to charge, because that's just the reality of things. So I see here it says you don't ask for money, and that's fine if you're not doing it for a profession. But if you are, Sandy, don't feel bad for asking, because it's just what it is in our reality nowadays. All right. So Pamela says, no, not many do. I would never ask for money for readings. Okay. She has never before, Sandy, but it takes a lot of work and time. I know. Da-da-da. Very cool. But why are you judging for trying something new? Times are tough for some. Yes, I know times are tough. Never mind. Very much so. I'm more drawn to pagan than Wicca. Awesome. Carrie, I would love to hear from you and hear some of the things. Go ahead and type in some of the things that you do on your day-to-day life that helps you live a pagan lifestyle. All right. The world of magic is awesome, isn't it, Sandy? All right. Lewis says hi. Sandy, don't be sorry, but I understand, but I'm glad I got to address it. I'm glad I got to address it so you understand where I'm coming from. I do literally 25 free readings every single week. But in addition to that, I got to get paid if I'm going to continue to help people in the mass and not just 20 people a week. Okay, Gloria says, okay, I've asked how to pray properly and how to better center myself. I've tried meditation, but I feel stuck. Okay, meditation comes in many different techniques. Most people think of meditation as sitting down and quieting, being quiet, and what ends up happening is our brain starts running all over the place, and really we end up not quiet. Some people meditate. The trick of meditation to begin is to clearing the mind of whatever it is that you're going through. So if cleaning the house helps you do that, and you're just so focused in on what you're doing that you're not thinking about the problems of the day, that's a form. You know, if you are dancing around and singing to the top of your lungs in your bathroom and you're not thinking about what's going on through the day, that's another form. And then of course, you know, actually sitting down, laying down, increasing your energy through breathing techniques. There's different things you can do. Particularly for me, I will take a hit of marijuana to help my body and my mind relax. Not enough to get me high, because if I get high, then it defeats the purpose. But if I just do it for my nervous systems to calm down, and then I do breathing techniques, and I think about numbers, just numbers. That helps me. And then eventually I say, okay, I ask a question. But it also depends. What are you trying to get to with meditation? What is the purpose of it? Because depending on the purpose of it, your technique should be different. But we can discuss that kind of stuff later. How to better center myself. One of my favorite techniques to center myself is going outside, taking my shoes off, and putting my feet under dirt. I find that really does ground me. Looking out into a sunset, into the moon, that really does help me feel more centered, more together. Being present in the moment, even like a shower, just feeling the water like hit me and hearing the sound. I just calming my breath down and just focusing on either a mantra or, a color. There's just so many different things, but those are some ideas. Ty says, okay. Eric says, hey, Bibi, how are you? Hey, darling, I did enter you. So at 6:30, I will be doing the live for the psychic reading. So feel free to join me then. So you can see if you want or ask a question. Eric says, I've always felt like I've been born into the wrong time and era. That is a very common feeling for people who are spiritual, just because we are just more sensitive to what we've felt in the past, what we've experienced in the past. And so I hear that a lot. I say that as well. My best friend says that as well. For me, it's like, I swear I have to have had a past life in Ireland. I've never seen real pictures. I've never gone there. But yet somehow I feel like I need to go. Like I'm going home if I go there. And it just feels like if I went there, but I don't want to go there in this time zone. Like I would want to go there in centuries ago. Of course, I can't teleport or time travel, at least not yet. So because I can't do those things, yeah, one day I'm gonna go visit. Let's see. Melissa says, what is your training or tradition? Okay, so I have been officially initiated as Wiccan. I did my year and a day, but I did that when I officially did it, like going through the books, you know, having a high priest initiate me, like doing it properly as a religion. I went through that at the age of like 19. Yes, 19. Prior than that, I had not, but I had still been practicing the same religion, which was Wicca. And really mainly not so much focusing on, I mean, I have my altars. I do celebrate the Wiccan holidays or the pagan holidays, which is the Sabbaths plus 4 others. I actually wrote down here to kind of, so I didn't forget. We have Samhain, which is the witch's full moon. Not full moon. The witch's new year, sorry. It's also like the day of the dirt. The day of the dead, not dirt. It's when the veils are thinnest and the communication between the spirit world and the 3D world is more easily connected, like you can communicate easier. And for me, it's my favorite, it's my most important, because also the traditions of Halloween that come with it. So we also have Yule. Yule's our solstice, which is celebration of winter. The traditions for that is the same as Christmas. So honestly, if you ask yourself questions like, why do we do this during Christmas or Easter, or, you know, other Christian holidays, just look into paganism, you're going to find it. You know, it's just our traditions were included into the Christian belief system so that the conversion will be easier for the Pope back then, because the more people he had converted, the more money he made. Catholic is the Catholic religion specifically, even more so then, maybe even so now, it's a business. It is what it is. We have Imbolc. Imbolc is kind of like our Valentine's. It's kind of like fertility, fire, things like that. We have Ostera, but that's the spring solstice. Then we have Beltane, Letha, which is a summer solstice. We have Lammas. So Beltane is like the coming of summer, and Lammas is the coming of fall, and then Mabon is fall. So those are, we also have like every month we have a full moon, and we celebrate full moon, new moon, and depending on whether it's full or new, the type of spell work that you do, the type of magic that you create varies on what would be most potent during that time frame. So that's just a little bit. Maybe eventually I'll get specific on one particular subject, but I'm trying to go through this. Carrie says, and watch the emotions you have while praying to try to stay calm. Okay, so she's giving some advice too. So I want to read this for everybody, okay? So Carrie says, watch the emotions you have while praying. 100% try to stay calm and full of love. Try not to be anxious or bring stress to your prayers, even for though what you may be praying for brings you stress. Very, very good advice, Carrie. Thank you for sharing. Guys, please do share. I love the comments. Welcome, Jade, Yadi, Dip, Heather. How do I find my deity? That one, takes a little longer. Finding our deity is not something that we're... Okay, so before Gaia became my deity, I believed in the gods and goddesses as a male and female energies of the universe. That was it. Very basic, right? And then I was going through some hard times, and she physically presented herself to me where it was like, oh, okay, well, I guess she's real, you know, as like an entity, like as I don't want to say a person, but as a goddess, you know, she was real. She was tangible. That's what I'm trying to say. She was tangible. When that happened, that forced me to change my belief system and go a different path, as far as like, okay, it's not just male and female energies, it is actual goddess. So if there's an actual goddess, then that means that all these different religions and all these different belief systems that believe, because I thought they must be real too. If mine is real, theirs must be real too, because why not? So yeah, so it's gonna take some time. And I mean, I found my deity at the age of 30, and I've been practicing and looking for a deity since really the age of 15. So it's not you finding them, is they will show themselves to you. So how do you even know? I would say read about the different deities that are out there, and the different religions. I mean, you have Egyptian deities, you have Greek deities, you have Native American deities. I mean, you have so many, like I can't even try to narrow this down. But I would just say, look around, and if you see a few that resonate with you, maybe you want to pray to them. And as you get to know what their patterns are, the way, who they are, if you see something that continues to happen a lot, then you go, okay, what deity is connected with this thing that keeps happening? And a lot of times it makes a connection. All right, let me see something. All right, so yeah, with that one, that's gonna take a little more time. I would start with you yourself and just learning about who you are and your personal abilities. I don't think I said that right. Focusing on self-growth. That's what I mean. Focusing on connecting, on peace, inner peace. That will eventually get you there. Okay? All right, just says hello, new here, nice to see you. Ask them to make themselves known to you. Okay, so Carrie, have some advice. Ask them to make themselves known to you in dreams or other ways. So maybe that's something that worked for her. So you can try that as well, Gloria. Maybe that'll work for you. But for me, it took a long time. A long time, so I couldn't speak for that. Says, I'm very earth conscious. I believe in grounding myself and becoming one with the elements around me. Everything is equal in energy. Totally true, Carrie. And I try to stay veggie based. Okay, so these are things that she does in her daily life that help her live a more pagan lifestyle. So she says, I try to stay veggie based and really avoid synthetics, medications, or foods because they block my abilities. And yes, I as well, you and grow as well, you and grow marijuana. And I speak to God and Gaia every morning. And let's see what else it says. Give thanks each day. Being grateful is so huge, so huge. The more grateful you are, the better your life is going to be. What I'm going through, I just want to be open enough to communicate with whatever is trying so desperately to get my attention. And we'll discuss that further once we get to talk. All right. Carrie says, can I speak to you about a young man that's around you whom has passed? Eric, that's for you. Carrie is also a psychic. And so tune in with her, okay, hon? All right. Welcome, Alex. Tammy says she wants to go there too. All right. Melissa says Wicca is my traditions and intentions. Initiations are not from books. Thanks from the info. Wicca is many traditions. Yes, Melissa is right. There are actually many different types of Wiccan religion. Well, even so, paganism is an umbrella term, right? And then under that, say you have Wicca, and then under that you have like different forms of Wicca, and depending on the different forms of Wicca, you're going to have a different way of going about it. There's just so much. This is just such. I'm just trying to get some information out there and try to start helping people see and understand. But each of these subjects that I've touched can actually be like a full subject on their own. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to let you go. I actually just received a text message that something happened at my daughter's school, so I have to let you go right now. All right, I'll be back at 6:30. Bye, guys.